These are 10 Unity tips that you might not know. The first tip that I always use with Unity every single day is F to focus. If you select an object and press F, you can focus in on it. This pulls the camera into the object and sets the object as your center and pivot for all rotation and zooming. This really helps with smaller objects and when you want to just focus in on one object to edit it. The next tip lets you move the camera and align it with the view from your scene view. To do this, select the camera and press Ctrl-Shift-F and it'll move the camera straight to the scene view's perspective. Unity is a very customizable engine and allows you to make the perfect workspace. One way this customization comes in really useful is by being able to change the colour of almost every aspect of the engine. If you go to Edit, Preferences, Colours, you can then tweak all of the colours. One of the most useful ones that I use is Play Mode Tint, which allows you to more clearly see when you're in play mode and playing your game. This tip can come in really useful. It's the ability to do maths right inside of the inspector. No longer do you have to get out a calculator to times two weird numbers together or anything like that. You can just type it straight in and Unity will handle the rest. Talking about the inspector, did you know that you can actually lock the inspector? If you go up to the corner and press this padlock button, you can actually stop it from changing when you select other objects. This can come in really useful when you need to drag and drop items from your hierarchy into slots on another object. This next tip can come in useful for things such as screenshots or just trying to get a better view of your screens. If you press Shift and Space, you can maximize basically every single aspect of Unity, from the animator and the inspector to the scene view. I use this tip on almost all of my projects. If you put a $sign in front of inverted commas on a new string, you can then use curly brackets to house lines of text, variables, and other things you may want to put into your strings. This can let you write longer strings that include a lot of variables more naturally. Whilst writing your programs, you may have a lot of fields that are private, but you still want to view them when debugging your game. Without making these serialized or making them public, there's actually a way to do this in Unity. If you go to the top corner of the inspector and press the three little dots and select Debug, you can now see all private variables. This lets you look at things like booleans, vector3s, etc. without actually having to clutter up your inspector. Did you know that you can also add gizmos to almost any object? If you press this button in the inspector next to the name, it will give you a drop down. You can add shapes, you can add titles, which will display the name of the object, or you can even press other, which will let you then put in your own custom gizmos to display. You can also hide these gizmos systematically in the gizmos menu, as well as resizing them or hiding all gizmos altogether. This final tip will hopefully save you a lot of time. It's Unity's ability to read Photoshop, Maya, and Blender files directly. This means that you can just open up the files, edit them, save them, and they'll automatically update inside of Unity, without you having to export them out as another form. If you found any of these tips useful, feel free to leave a like and let me know in the comments below which was your favourite. And if you've got any tips of your own, I'd love to hear them and they might even make it into the next video. I'm going to be bringing out more videos like this in the future, teaching you tips about Unity. I'm also going to be bringing out more devlogs, and I'm even starting a podcast with other game dev YouTubers to speak about their journey, their projects, and to give you more tips. So if any of that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can see the next video as soon as it comes out. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.